Hi, I'm Sushi General. Today, I interviewed a guy who teaches various kinds of languages like English, Portuguese, and such. What brought you to Japan? What made you decide to live in Japan for a long time? And what part of Japan do you like? This video is really insightful for who would like to come to Japan in the future and who would like to live in Japan. So please check this out. Thank you. Can I ask where you come from?
I come from Australia directly because that's where I came from to Japan. But I was born in Brazil and I have two passports, Australian and Brazilian, so I'm a dual.
How long have you been in Japan?
I've been in Japan almost 28 years, 27 years, yeah.
Okay.
Long time.
Okay. What brought you to Japan?
I was living in Melbourne in Australia and I wasn't very happy. I had graduated from university and I wasn't feeling very happy professionally. And I just thought I would come to Japan just for 1 year and just see if I liked it, to learn a little bit of Japanese. But then I fell in love with the country and here I am 27 years later, still here.
What made you decide to stay in Japan in a really long time?
Many things. First thing was I came directly to Tokyo and I was living in Saitama and I just felt this was such a great city. And after living in Melbourne now is much bigger than it used to be. But when I left, I felt it was a bit slow. I had lived in London before and I'm from São Paulo originally, which is a big city like Tokyo. So I like the big city. And when I first arrived here, the first thing was like, oh my God, it's so nice to be in a metropolis again. And with lots of art, lots of people, lots of kind of exciting lifestyle. But then I just so many things made me say, like professionally, things start going really well for me. I started feeling this is I have something to contribute to the society. I feel like useful here. Then I joined a choir. That was a really nice choir as well. And I met lots of other foreigners living in Japan. I made so many good friends that are my, lifelong friends. And then I just, it was natural. I just thought, I love this place. I'm not going anywhere else. So
Okay.
it's my home now.
Okay. So you plan to live here for a long time going forward?
I think so. I don't think at this point, because now I'm on my kind of last few years before retirement. So I feel like there's no reason for me to move elsewhere now. I think this is my home.
Okay. What's the best part for Japan? What do you like the most in Japan, your experience?
So many things. I think the safety, especially coming from Brazil, I think the safety is always great. To feel I can go anywhere, anytime. I never feel threatened. I never feel scared. And that is very, very important. I mean, this sounds so natural and probably taken for granted if you're Japanese, but it actually is a great thing that this country has. I also really like as I said, the cultural life of Tokyo. I think Tokyo is a city where you can eat anything you like. You can see all kinds of arts. It's a very truly cosmopolitan city, and that to me is very, very important. I never feel limited or bored, in this place. I mean, there's always things to do, and especially the international aspect. I think not so much in other parts of Japan, but here in Tokyo, definitely I feel that very strongly, and that's great.
Okay. What do you think of the situation that now many tourists from any other countries now in Tokyo and Japan? What do you think of this situation?
I think it's good and bad. I think the good thing is, of course, tourism is the whole world, has tourists, and I think Japan took a while to understand that because it's already happening in Europe for a long time. Brazil not so much because of infrastructure and stuff, but it is happening now in Brazil as well. Of course, United States and Europe, and so it is great. I think I love traveling myself. I travel a lot, and I think I like to be a tourist. But of course, on the other side, it just happened too quickly. And I think it's very hard for the Japanese. I can see a lot of people struggling with that, and because there are so many obstacles, for people to really understand. I mean, in the end, I think the result is positive because it is making Japanese also learn a lot of things about foreigners that, not the stereotypes, and also to understand that, Gaikoku is not just America. I think that is so important that, people are seeing we see, tourists from all over the world, really, isn't it? It's amazing. There are people from Asia, from South America, from, a lot of Spaniards, and it's great. I think that is a good thing. In the end, I think it's a positive thing, but I do understand the struggle, and I appreciate how difficult it has been for a lot of people. Yeah.
Okay. So, last question. Do you have any messages to the people who would like to come to Japan in the future?
Um, yes, I think the main message is don't do too much. Like I think less is more, because Japan, I think the image a lot of foreigners have is that Japan is a small country, but it's a very big country, and traveling around is very expensive and very stressful. The train system is fantastic, everything works beautifully, but there are a lot of people, and I think rather than try to do everything, it's just like choose one or two places and enjoy those places, learn the culture, appreciate the food. Don't try to embrace it all at once. Yeah, and be respectful too, because the Japanese are very different from many other places, and I think they are trying really, really hard to adapt and to understand differences, but a lot of people don't appreciate that, because it's like when you go to Europe from America, when you go from South America, the Western world in general, I think things are pretty much the same in many ways, the manners and stuff, but in Japan there are so many things that are interesting and different. So I think that's my message. Yeah.
Thank you very, very, very much. Hey! Did you like this video? I hope you like it. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe this channel. And please stay tuned for the next coming video. I believe this is gonna be really insightful for you. Thank you!